MightyMai episode 15. Let's go.
It's Louie, baby. The champ is here. Let's go. I'm known for rapping hard, not your average bars. Lighting up the metaverse and wrecking graphics cards. Cipher in the building, all you get is battle scars. And we ain't leaving in this bitch unless we get that Avastar. I'm sick, bro, so tiptoe or get bit like Pitbull. That lip flow, your shit blows. I pop off like crypto, like goddamn. He not playing, he got game. Like Ray Allen on this motherfucking blockchain. A hot flame, a top name. Without me in the cipher, it's the Wild West without John Wayne. All aboard the Genesis, everybody sprung. Now it's looking like a party up in 721. Teleporting engineers, better bring the beers. We should make it a tradition, do it every single year. Put Louie on the microphone, everybody kinda stoned. Fire up the flow, bot, whole spot might explode. Y'all already know though, I bomb it like a photo. I'm coming down that stream like a motherfucking rowboat. Y'all don't know me now, you should learn my name. I got that whole spot lit, now watch it burn the flames. It's Louie, baby. Woo! Cipher in the building, biatch. Yeah, and I'm out.
So let's go. Welcome to the MightyMai show, episode 15. That was a great tune out of previous Cipher at Avastar's 420 birthday. Big shout out to TokenSmart for this amazing event. And there was a Cipher round happening during the birthday, and the content generated from this particular 420 special moment was mind-blowing, and I wanted to take this track for the introduction. And so shout out to Louie C, who rapped on this one. And a very hectic week with not a lot of news from the big celebrities again. Like pretty much last week when we closed the show, that's the moment where Eminem just announced his drop on Nifty Gateway. So we kind of reached the top of artists. Previously we reached the top of corporations, and we are pretty much in every tops right now. The NFT discussion is all over the place, and that's interesting because now it's like the lawyers panic happening. Like, okay, what do we do with this? Okay, we go for the NFT, but panic, all the armies of lawyers have to come together to think forward with this and, apply, figure out what's up with this NFT legal aspect. And that's very fascinating. A lot of talks this week around this subject. And so we will have as well Easy and Kinchasa to talk about Cipher and how it went, as well as highlighting a few podcasts, because really there have been a lot of great discussions happening this week, and I want to share the links. It's hours of contents, but it definitely works at the highest level of understanding right now. So and little topics about the new upcoming platforms for the ecological impacts. There has been already great responses from developers to give solutions, whether it's from Hink and Nunk. We heard about the developers from MetaMask, which is Consensus as well, launching an eco-friendly NFT platform. I've heard a new name which is Zero Mint, and as well we have the Flow blockchain with the Vive marketplace, and the Near protocol as well with Minbase. So very good promises on that side. So we can dive in anything you want. How has been your week, Mai?
No, there's a lot there. I was about to hop in on a bunch of those topics. Honestly,
and I don't know if we will go into all of this. I mean, we will just pick here and there and get into that talk with Easy and Kinchasa. We're waiting for Kinchasa to connect as well. I don't know if you're here already, but so.
Oh yeah, I'm here, boss.
Yep. Cool.
Stoked to be here, man.
Cool. Happy to have you as well. So,
Should we? I was gonna say, like, what did you want to do a topic first, or did you want to just bring them on now? I'm cool with either one.
I'm both comfortable with this. If you want to, we can talk, briefly about a few news, but like really quickly, I already mentioned the top of it, so we can go along the way. But I don't want to take too much time as well to Easy and Kinshasa. So now we're all here, we can talk about it and get into it. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. We'll just bring them on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sounds
yeah,
good. Sounds
that's it.
good. Yeah.
What's up,
Thanks so
fellas?
much for having us, dude. This is really great to be on. Yeah, we're so fortunate to be hooked
Sounds
up with
cool.
all these folks in the
However you got. I think
Can you guys all hear
he
each
may,
other? Can everyone...
He may be on push to talk. You guys hear me?
Yeah.
I hear you.
It's
I
fine.
hear you. Yeah.
It's perfect.
I think we may have just lost Kinshasa mid sentence there, but I can definitely echo that we're super stoked to be here.
Yeah,
And it's just been such an amazing ride already, and we're kind of just getting going. And that track from Louie C with the Avastars theme that he dropped on the Avastars 420 party and took the crown with and floored me, man. It was so dope just having these events and having people come on live and just spit those rhymes. It's so fun.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, until... Do you have a choppy delay
I
as
kind
well?
of hear somebody maybe.
Yeah, I definitely have a nice choppy delay as well. But I can make out a lot of what is being said though.
Yeah, I got it as well. So yeah, so far, how many people or artists are involved in Cipher since you launched? I mean, are you on mainnet already? Because I saw mainnet on the website today.
Yeah, we've got like 80 people pre-registered and are
Okay.
just shepherding folks through like Instagram ads and stuff, trying to onboard, folks from the hip hop community to crypto, and it's new to a lot of folks. So we're just taking our time trying to get the quality in there, and yeah, we're actually lazy minting, kind of like OpenSea though. So right now you can go on and create if you're safe listed in the back end on Cipher, and then we're flipping the switch to make them purchasable and minted on the fly. Hopefully this Thursday, man. We're getting there. We're having our smart contract audited as we speak.
All right. So, as I understand, because to let people know as well, for people that doesn't know Cipher as well, so it's a marketplace where you can come and you generate a bit from an artificial intelligence database on the website, straight on the website, and then you can rap on it, do a little bars or sing or whatever, and then mint it spontaneously, like right away once you record that 1 minute. Is there a time limit to, or someone can go for 10 minutes over a song, for example?
Sure. Yeah. Currently, we just kind of sandboxed it to 90 seconds. We just wanted to keep it tight, kind of make sure that we fall in line with sort of the new short form, format that you see in TikTok and Instagram and stuff. So yeah, we want to just try and get people to, just spit some bars in 90 seconds. And yeah, we're just excited to see how the market responds. I think that there's tons of talent out there that is just ready to come out of the woodwork. There are rappers, mid-level rappers trying to break through, kind of come up, but then, I'm excited to just see people who can spit and just come right out of the woodwork, who may not even want to make a name for themselves. They just want to make some ETH, and we can make that happen too, So there's just tons of possible sort of vectors at which we're going to find talent, and so that's just sort of how we're approaching it.
Yeah, going off of that. So like, do you think like your main target right now is to onboard like actual artists, like actual quote unquote actual like hip hop artists, or are you more aiming towards just like I know you kind of, I feel like I kind of got both vibes, but are you more aiming towards like people who just kind of want to have a reason or a platform where they can just spit and like they aren't an artist?
Yeah, we're right now we're targeting, artists that, maybe have a few thousand followers on Instagram and have some of a presence, because that's going to give us, some reach through their audience then too once they get down to minting. But I think we're going to open become more permissionless over time and allow more people to more easily apply and just
I
kind of
would say it's really kind of.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Audio issues today, I think, with Discord. It was cutting in and out. I had lost you there for a second. It might just be me. But yeah, I think, we do want to have people that are passionate about rapping be able to, both get a doorway into crypto as well as turning their passions fun.
I think
Be able to get on platform and maybe they kind of kickstart a little rap career and get a little better known. Maybe they
malfunction.
Yeah,
I knew it was coming. I thought there was going to be a Cookie Monster segue there. Yeah, I think what Easy was saying, I know you're breaking up a little there, Easy.
Yeah, sorry,
but,
there's an audio issue, and I think Easy is doing his best to sort it right. But yeah, we heard, I think, half of what he said, but go ahead, you can.
Well, yeah, I was just going to chime in. I think what Easy's kind of saying to pick up where he left off is that we're kind of hoping that we can democratize music production and change the nature of distribution all of NFTs. I mean, that's what it's doing is totally cutting out a lot of middlemen along the way, getting artists closer to fans. But we're going to see talent come out of the woodwork that can just spit, and we're going to want to enable them, So that's where I think it's going to offer a totally new path for people to find a new audience, despite the fact that the NFT market is really small right now. We're kind of hoping to lean into something bigger. But I mean, I almost see this like unlocking like a rapper middle class, because right now the music industry, it's kind of all or nothing. It's like making it or not. And with touring out of the equation, artists are struggling. So it's a new way to monetize your flow. And, we're really just hoping that we can help people get closer to their fans, find their tribe, and just express themselves in this new way that just is like this proof of work dApp, So that's kind of like where our head's at least. And I'm not sure if that's where you were going, Easy, but.
Yeah, I did a router reset. I hope I'm coming through better. I was hearing everybody else choppy too, so I figured it was just like Discord. But yeah, you nailed it, bro. We want to be able to enable, and as we're still in alpha and we're, using the whitelist method where people come on slowly, when we have everything really set and ready to roll and the mobile rolls out, I mean, we want then at that point anybody with a phone in their pocket to be able to, collect these hip hop ciphers and make these hip hop ciphers. And, we have a lot planned also for, more of these events. Like we got Thursday, a little after the whip at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern is the new cipher slot that's going down here in TokenSmart Discord. So we do have a sign up sheet. I'll grab that and drop that in event links. But, a large part of it is just bringing together community to be able to support each other, learn together, up our skills, spit flows, have fun, earn some money. I mean, why not?
Yeah, that's so cool. That's so a college vibe as well, and that's where it ties to the TikTok mindset of just getting in without, just for having fun and not thinking about having specifically a career, or even for people that doesn't even know they can do something and just have fun by downloading the app and try. And then see if, with their entourage and friends, they can collect a few ETH and then maybe have a broader audience and build something out of this as a starter. So I love how it goes. And yeah, I bet it's going to be a lot of work from the development side, I believe.
Oh boy. Yeah, you have
Can
no
you talk
idea. We've been
a
cracking on
little
this
bit
thing
of
full time for like 4.5 months.
yeah?
And yeah, there's a squad of 8 of us deep. And so we're about half technical, half, marketing. But yeah, it's been Herculean getting an Automagic beatmaker off the ground, but it's
Hmm.
finally kind of coming to fruition. But yeah, there's just so much in the open source software community that has so much to offer. So we're fortunate in that respect. Just giving props out to those who make those public goods happen, being free and open with their code bases. I
Yeah.
always say that, like, we stand on the shoulders of giants nowadays with technology
Hmm.
and open source software. So we've been able to kind of get a leg up with some open source libraries that way.
Yeah, that's cool because the first iteration of the website is already great. It's working, and sure, there's a lot of room to work, but that feels, I believe, pleasant to have a first version that fulfill the goal of the vision, and at first try. Sometimes you try to develop a project and you have your first version, and it is far from the promises of your vision, and then you still have to work. But here, the you did it great. I mean, congrats.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's a long road ahead, but
Hmm.
the crew is so energized, and Louie C Rhymes, excuse me, is in the house today. I think fly on the wall, but yeah, he has just kind of come on as an ambassador
Hmm.
for the project, and his energy and enthusiasm, and some of the super fans we've come across has just been a big wind in our sails. So yeah, just the community we've finally started to build around us has really kept us going and keeping the momentum going.
Hmm. And I feel it's so authentic because it's a very unique concept. I believe you could have done that for music in general, or this is hip hop. I mean, that's the thing. I think your team likes, or came with naturally. Whether I mean, compared to doing a business market study and take the best direction out of it, like that's something you had in common with different people, and then you were imagining like, okay, why not do something this particular idea and make it happen, and that's where I think it's the most beautiful because that's not calculated. That's a bet out of the crossroads of passions of different people working toward this project.
Yeah, man, totally. And I mean, I always say, like, I kind of grew up all skate or die back in the day, freestyling with my crew, clowning, just having a good time, and so those were some of the funnest times of my life. Just just clowning with my buddies, just trying to
Hmm.
get
Yeah.
just something off the top to sound cool. And a lot of my friends are in hip hop, but yeah, it was funny. I had Easy apply to the gig of being community czar, and part of the application process was
Hmm.
spitting a rhyme. And he brought the fire, and it was just so cool to see that coming out from Easy, because he was passionate about that too. So yeah, to me, it was just sort of this organic thing. I knew I wanted to do something in hip hop, and we realized after the fact that it happens to be the largest streaming category too. So it's actually like
Hmm.
the biggest well-defined niche to go after in
Yeah.
terms of opportunity too, fortunately.
And there's such a culture that goes with hip hop. Like
Hmm.
it's been such a global spread, that the kind of the hip hop, just that vibe and that culture that has just really gone to every part of the globe. So it's really cool to be able to encompass or embody a portion of that and bring it forward to the NFT community, and then also link the hip hop and rap community, build a bridge to bring them over into the crypto NFT sphere. And yeah, I would say best job interview ever was spitting rhymes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've had like the coolest job lately, just getting to interact with rappers and listen to their music. And I mean, it's a little bit weird having to make those decisions as to who gets on the platform and doesn't at this point. But
Hmm.
growing a two-sided marketplace, we have to be a little bit gated at this point. But like I said, we're going to open up more over time. But we have a fun job. I'm loving what we're doing, and coming on the heels of this Outlier Ventures Accelerator we just came out of, we're really positioned well to capitalize on all those learnings and the experiences we took away from that. So I think this thing is about right.
Yeah, and we also get such great feedback from, the community that is starting to come together. And yeah, having, Louie C has come on and just really brought the fire, not only with his flows, but with his energy and excitement to help us, kind of grow this platform and get some of those, rappers that are more in the pro sphere over, while people like me are just grabbing all my friends and being like, come have fun, like try it out, see if you like to spit raps. And people do, they find they have a talent for it and a passion for it that haven't ever really done it before. So that's another really just like rewarding and cool aspect about the project.
Yeah, I hear you. And Mai, are you with us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was just kind of letting the convo ride.
No, I
dude,
do.
the concept overall,
Yeah.
the concept overall is super fire though. I love the idea of like trying to create something which will be able to fit its way into the middle class of creatives, which I do also agree is kind of the future. With all this technology, it will essentially land us in some middle ground of like having a middle class and multiple platforms in which you could pretty much make a living, like providing for. And I think something like this could definitely like find its way in there. I was gonna say like there's so many things that simple things I feel like that could take this to a whole like different level. Like, have you guys thought about maybe the idea of putting these ciphers into like a competition vibe, where like every week you have kind of this setup where you take one beat or one or something that's like fair for everybody, and then you just have like multiple people compete and stuff like that. Is anything like that in the thoughts?
That would be epic, and we've got a number of notions of what we could do to expand on the platform, and I think that spirit of competition could be really rad. And I mean, I don't know if you're all familiar too, like the term cipher is like a classic hip hop phenomenon where like you get a group of people that just circle around and start spitting, and it can embody like break dancers and beatboxing and all this stuff. All this hip hop culture kind of coalesces in the cipher. So we want to stretch our legs and have more features that embody that. And so yeah, we were talking about like pitting an NFT against another one and sort of having a competition, but being able to flow over the same track and see which one wins and vote on that to then mint that as a special edition would be really rad too. So yeah, we're toying with that, sort of like a Beat Stars, like Tinder of rappers meet beat makers thing. We've got notions of doing who knows, maybe even like a man versus machine AI like rapper like you have to battle man versus machine. Who knows what'll happen,
That would be dope.
But yeah, I do agree. I think that competitive edge would bring a culture quicker, in the sense of I think people love to be able to have ease of creation. And I think there's another aspect I thought of, which is what's stopping you guys from just letting producers kind of make the beats. I mean, obviously that would be a different vibe, but it wouldn't necessarily change the concept. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's definitely a question and I wanted to ask as well. Yeah, like at some point. Go ahead.
There's a lot on the roadmap that we haven't necessarily shared out in public a lot, but we have been, kind of strategizing on different ways to both gamify, with rewards to be able to keep, a lot of community engagement and kind of being able to level up. And then unlock new features. So there are plans to have an uploadable the line where yes, a producer could come in, be able to upload a track. Now there's various ways that we can do this, and if I'm spitting too much alpha, just stop me, Kinchasa. But like if you had a dope producer that makes beats, upload a beat track, and that was thrown into the mix because they're generative, they're random, you don't know what you're going to get. But what if because you've leveled up, you've got some skin in the game, you've produced some, or you've participated enough to get that role in the Discord that also unlocks more content in the app. Like you might get in to that level where every once in a while a sick produced beat drops and you're able to go rap over this special beat that was produced by, you know, so-and-so, and that would have like higher value, be a very limited thing, but also to let people be able to upload beats and kind of shop it a little bit, you know, find people to be able to collaborate with. Maybe someone wants to work more on beats and doesn't flow so much, but they want to still be in Cipher. So there's a lot of ideas that we're kind of kicking around, and we love the feedback from the community. Like that single track, different people competing over a single track. Dude, that's a dope idea, and I hadn't thought of that. So like, we love this stuff.
Hell yeah. No, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and well, I was just gonna chime in with what Easy was saying, and you know, the beauty of crypto and, you know, smart contracts is that this could enable us to really create a new way to collaborate. Because we call it like smart splits, right? So like in the music industry, they collaborate in the studio and they split, you know, the percentages of who gets how much royalties. Yeah. Well, we could have a bidding process. So you put out a beat, open it up for auditions, and people get to audition rap over it. The beat maker producer then decides who's got the dopest fire and then what their percentage bid was and weigh that against how dope it is to how much profit they'll make. So it could be a 60-40, 50-50 or 40-60. And then that would be a simple way to keep it really easy and equitable and just connect creatives, you know, in a way that I guess wasn't as seamless before.
Yeah. That's actually a good way to kind of like combine with what I was going to say, which is, you know, I do agree. Like, like this type of technology allows us to be able to kind of like route things in such a creative way that can benefit a lot of people at once, or just like benefit a collaboration immediately. Where as the old way, it's like, dude, if you write your name wrong, like they'll just basically invalid the payment. You know what I mean? Like that's the type of shit that the legacy system does. But
the black box of royalties is real.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But what I was gonna say is like having the ability for, say, like a producer, like even myself, like I would love to be able to produce like a 60-second beat and just upload it and be like, you know what I mean? Like, and then just have like a contract on that beat, you know, that goes with whoever goes with it. And it's like, it's just like, it'll just be a separate thing. Like there will still be the AI generated beats, but then there will be like a whole other like section that could potentially be for what you're saying, like for that collaboration for that producer as well. You know, I don't know.
Totally, is that like totally? Yeah, and that's a really it's I wireframed this out in like a flow chart. I'm like, holy crap, this is complex. But so is making a beat maker. But we went the beat maker route because I took inspiration from stuff like Pixel Chain, believe it or not, and that I see as like a proof of work DApp. You know, that you can't fake, you can't cheat, you make it all in app, and it becomes a skills game. You know, doing a 90-second take, all in one rap, you're leveling the playing field, and I think this is going to allow people who have real skills to shine, and that allows us too to not have as much governance issues, I guess, over the platform where you have copyright issues and stuff because it's all in the app, and so you can't really you don't have to worry as much about copyright and stuff. So that was just where our head was at in guiding our choice to go the Automagic Beatmaker route to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, what's stopping someone from like writing something down though before they spit it?
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that. We welcome bars, you know, and if you can freestyle, more power to you.
No, absolutely, I totally agree. I was,
You mean like copyright, like lifting someone else's lyrics?
No. I was just I got the impression that you were saying that it almost forces the talent to rise to the top, which I mean, I don't know. That's not necessarily true because I feel like you could just write a bunch of stuff and then just go over a bunch of beats that you wrote with.
Yeah, and I don't see anything wrong with that. Like we're not.
I was just curious.
Yeah. We encourage people to bring their A game, and a lot of times that means preparing. But there are rap gods amongst us who just are full of amazing rhymes. And so
I was gonna say, and especially if it takes off, you know, you're not gonna stop a bunch of 12-year-olds from wanting to like beef with each other. That's the thing that I think would take something like this off the ground really, really fast. Is like if you can get a bunch of kids to get into it, and I think like the competitive thing would entice kids. Also, having them be able to like create their own beats, even if it was all AI generated stuff. Like they just click things and it just generates a beat for them, like through stuff that maybe is provided by producers. Like say I provide a guitar sample, like something like that could be cool. But yeah, them being able to then like have like weekly competitions with each other, or just create their own culture within an arena that you guys create, because you have like the basic concepts 100% there, and I definitely fuck with it. It's and then it's just about basically getting people to want to like really like get involved. Like
Absolutely.
That's what we're here for. Like we're here to really take this kind of feedback and try and make it work, so that everybody out there that's using the platform gets the best out of it. I mean, like you're mentioning, of course, on these events that we've had that are kind of touted as these freestyle events where you come and just spit. I mean, we're also talking about doing, events where we let everybody know ahead of time, you could bring maybe some of your own beats. You could, have something prepared and come and compete like that. So it's not just limited to, freestyling. That's just part of the culture and something that we've, kind of started off with because of, it's just really fun. And then when we usually end the events with just a like a 7 or 8 minute track, and just passing the mic, and whoever feels it jumps on. And it brings me back to like my, teenage years of just, rapping with my friends. We'd play live music and pass the mic around and stuff. And it was just, like Kinchasa had said, some of the funnest times were back in those days. Just chilling and rhyming with bros. And so, hopefully we'll have the capability to add in weekly wrap offs and like, a bunch more stuff as we get building out and add more features. Like, maybe there is a little pack of samples that you can access, and get, like some my guitar riffs in your thing. That would be sick.
Yeah.
Who knows? Yeah. I was like, even while you were saying that, I was thinking of so many ideas. Like, you could create like spaces, or like, Twitter did spaces. Like you could create a room where basically you go into that room and a certain beat is playing constantly, or just beats are just rotating, and people can just hop in. People can just hop into that room, and if people are in it, like fuck it, like it's like Worlds, in a massive multiplayer online shit. Like you just create the places to go and like let them kind of go as they please. That can be like the quick play version. And then you have, and that would be like streaming. I don't know how that would work, but that would be cool as fuck. And then you also, and then you have the like a leaderboard, or like a thing where like it keeps track of all of the minted ones that are already there that week, and then all time, and like just stats and things like that. That's like the stuff that would create a culture. It's like, because even like what we were talking about, like, oh, it's just about the fun of freestyling. It's like, even because I did the same thing when I was a kid with my friends. It was just so fun to just put on instrumentals and just freestyle rap. But part of that culture is competitive. Like I am like competing with my boys at that point in time. Like I'm trying to spit something better. Like, or if maybe we start dissing each other. Like who knows? Like
yeah. I mean, and that's what's so beautiful about the Cipher is like it's this good spirited like collaborative rap. But sometimes you got to diss an opponent. Somebody steps and you gotta you gotta fight back. So like, I think that's all like fun and part of the game. And the beauty of what we're doing now is it's one button. You hit generate beat till you like what you hear, and then the next stage is one button and it's record. So like the next level of because we're with what you see with Clubhouse, what you see with Spaces, what you see with Discord's new sort of invite, or like they just ripped off Clubhouse. Everyone is, because we're entering a golden age of audio, of live audio and streaming, and so that would be next level. And like solving for the latency issues and stuff, we're going to need a squad of like 10 software developers to pull that off. But I really think there's room to start to incorporate some of these ideas here, though, and figure out how you can not stifle creativity either, because a lot of people have expressed they want to just be able to upload their stuff, and so we're definitely listening.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean,
go
go ahead.
I honestly kind of semi forget what I was gonna say, but
Keep them ideas coming. I'm taking notes.
Yeah.
No, this is great. This is good. This is good. I mean, at the end of the day, like, I think like you said it earlier, and I loved it. And you were basically like, look, we're just starting. Like, it's just
Yeah.
we're just beginning. This is 100%. Like, I want to see. I love the idea, and like, if it ends up being that middle class thing, like, of course, like Mighty and I could both benefit from that platform. I think that type of concept is obviously something I want to see succeed. But yeah, I just say the things that I'm most excited about seeing for myself as a creator in the Web3 world. Like, I love the idea of being able to document and do things competitively in the Web3 world. I think that's gonna be very popular in a
Yeah.
not in a while. I think in the future that'll be something that pops up with music in particular, because I think it is part of the culture itself. And but yeah, I don't know how to implement that either. I mean, just
Oh, yeah.
I absolutely
No,
agree.
mad
Yeah.
ideas.
And that's just my sense of it. I have a sense that that's a Herculean effort, but not to say that it's not doable. We're on the fundraising trail right now. We're looking to close our first round here after the seed we got from Outlier Ventures, and so it's going to give us some capital to be able to dream a little bit and try and execute on some of this stuff. And our head too is that we could maybe kind of become like this nifty gateway for higher tier artists to kind of do exclusive drops and really get closer to their fans. And
Yeah.
that would be easy to do. And it would be kind of capitalizing on the frothiness of the market, how everybody wants to get into NFTs, and being that nifty gateway of hip hop could be epic.
I mean, dude, if you could do that, I mean, fuck, I feel like that's the move. Because then you can just pivot. Because then you can just pivot into whatever you want after that.
Yeah, then we would be printing money if we get Snoop and shit down. But yeah, it's tough to materialize that credibility out of nowhere without a user base and stuff. So that's why we're starting, I guess, at a more grassroots level until we can, get that cachet to attract some names.
Yeah, it makes me think of that color show that we have here in Europe, which is a YouTube channel that is basically a color cube in which they invite, it was under the radar artists to split their, late release. And it was all very underground. And but the channel got successful. And at some point, every top tier artist went from the underground middle class, not the big stars, but the top underground artists went into that room, and suddenly everyone wanted to be on that color show. That's the name of the show, and that makes me think of it. But I'm curious on our royalties point of view, because to me that was the biggest concern I felt from the music blockchain space this week, because of many reasons. But and I'm in the side of people wanting, the Napster side, like the kind of guy who is all about Napster, like let's disrupt everything and make, the people that are trying to stop the internet, to stop the all the outrageous moves we've seen from internet and the music industry and everything. I'm in the sides of seeing what's happening right now with the NFT space, and seeing that you can basically mint 100 of copyrighted things into the blockchain today, and I can do 100 tomorrow, and so on, with copyrighted content. And at some point, what will prevent all this mess to be regulated and be sorted out? So yeah, in the case of Cipher, like if suddenly someone spit Jay-Z's bars and mint it into a generated beat, what happens? I mean, I see the move from Audius and different platforms sorting out the legal issue, saying like it's not our responsibility. We can only be accountable to provide the information to sue the people who minted that track, for example, but it's not our responsibility. And I guess here it may work the same way, but I'm curious, how is your perspective on a medium to long term about those issues, or are you thinking about this today, or not really, or
Yeah, the music industry is pretty complex, and there's a lot of players. Um, and copyright itself is fairly convoluted between the two. You know, the retaining your masters, and then the right to like the composition, like the lyrics and such. So we're actually kind of sidestepping it and just being like the simplest possible way to do it is just like, we're generating these beats, but you own them. Once you spit on them and you sell one of these tracks, like, it's yours. You can take it off platform and do what you want, but just to be asked, you don't mint it anywhere else as an NFT. And so we're just trying to kind of create that manufactured scarcity and let the clarity come in a more native Web3 form. I think that there are going to be like a Creative Commons sort of remix, share alike sort of dynamic eventually in NFTs, and I'm hoping that the leaders in the space, the OpenSeas of the world and stuff,
standards
start
for
to help
royalties.
kind of pioneer that.
Yo, Kinchasa. Garrett.
What up?
This is Jim. Hey, what's up, man?
Jimmy.
Oh,
hey,
Jim,
yo.
good to see you, man. How you doing, boss?
Good. I have some observations here I just wanted to share, and being like a little bit vague, but just some learnings I've had over the last month that I think like play into Cipher and like the opportunity for the platform. There's a couple things. Like, first of all, obviously, like the one side of the industry that currently is in control is looking at the NFT space intently and trying to be a facilitator for like making connections and helping artists get drops and stuff like that right now. And on the other side of that, you have the artists who, of course, are playing nice with their labels and everything else, but are also like left out of the access side of things. They aren't given direct access to their fans in a lot of cases, believe it or not. They don't have like the lists of their fans and things like that. Like, those things are controlled by other entities. And so you have both an opportunity with the labels and then also an opportunity with artists that want to be independent of the labels, or perhaps artists that want to do both because they don't know which way they want to go. But I think that you have a good approach here in the idea of allowing people to create something new instead of trying to bring existing work into the space right now. Kind of let the labels and all that sort that out and let these existing artists kind of sort through kind of some new releases in a new medium where they're not restricted by their labels necessarily yet, which the labels will probably make moves to do eventually as they fill this like loophole and want to, make sure that they're trying to figure out how to capture the revenue. But it's a really interesting thing because I think a lot of these larger entities that are in control recognize that like the decentralized nature of blockchain, like it's not just like A to B straight path to success. Like, they actually have to challenge themselves to think like we have been for the last couple of years in order to figure out how to manufacture the right experience. Like, the one thing I think is that like there's so much opportunity. Like, you pick one area you want to focus on in this space and you do it really well. And I think you'll succeed. And I think Cipher's definitely one of those platforms that's going to fill a great niche. And you guys are right. Like, hip hop's like the biggest shit, right? It's like 90% of the music I listen to. So anyways, I'm really excited. And like, one other thing is I think Snoop's now dropped like at least two tracks that talk about like blunts, like in NFT space. And like, I wouldn't be surprised if we see more. And this is shit that's like not on his labels or anything like that. So, I mean, you already see like some artists experimenting in this area, like maybe people don't realize it yet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, totally.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Yeah, thank you for your insights.
Love Cipher, guys. Just big supporter, big fan. Wanted to be here and just couldn't help myself. I have to talk. So
That's so
no,
cool.
it's always insightful. I think you're right, though. Like, the white space out there is kind of hard to take it all in at sometimes, because everywhere you look, there's an opportunity in crypto. It's such a wild west. I always love saying that like crypto is this disease that you get diagnosed with over cocktails, right? It's just like once you get bit by crypto, you start seeing applications everywhere because it cuts out middlemen, but it brings fans closer to artists. It can do so much. So we're gonna see what sticks first here with this, and then start to widen our lens and see, if we can draw in some big name artists and do drops. It seems like a no brainer, but we still want to keep that grassroots vibe going,
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? For when it comes to the royalties and everything, I don't believe the royalties issue will be sorted in court case anytime. The only thing that will solve that is the technology. So the experimentation is definitely needed finally to resolve these issues, and we have to start somewhere, and with various kinds of ideas. So big props to you, to your work, and I'm definitely looking forward, where it goes and how it sticks, like you say. But I'm sure it will. So yeah, that's very encouraging to see this happening, and all the issues related will be sorted on the run. The biggest challenge is always to stay long organized, have a good vision and strategy to have a solid ground. But I feel that's what you already are working on, and are well onto. You have a good entourage to people that watch for this specific initiative to succeed. So that's just have to hold on strong and work hard, but like you already do, I see. And
Thanks. And just to mention for anybody that isn't familiar with Cipher, basically the last step after you press the button and generated some beats and chose the one you like and hit that next button to rhyme, and then choose your spray GAN, which is our generative art trained on graffiti. The last step there, you put in your title, the amount of additions you're going to make, the price, and then you're able to choose your royalty. So we have like, a little slider, 5, 10, or 15%. And, of course, that's on platform. So we still need a standard for royalties cross-platform.
Yeah.
But, we hope that can, people will keep it on platform for resales. And so those royalties get to the people that made it. And then we're also hoping that part of this kind of middle class, artist, whether it's musical or visual, part of this new kind of class that's coming from NFTs, by giving the ownership of the track. Once somebody mints that track that they've spat over, they're the ones owning that. So if they want to get that on a streaming service and maybe get a couple other pennies at the end of the year from streaming, great. That's getting them heard. That's maybe getting a little bit, tag Cipher when you put up your stream or something. And so we're hoping that'll, help spread the word and maybe get a little more income here or there. If somebody, makes a really cool one, they can continue to kind of turn that into some more financial opportunities, maybe.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, with your own words, at this point, how is your business model? Like, how do you see how to make your income as Cipher to continue the journey, or?
Sure. Yeah. So you set your royalties, you mint it, and if it is an addition, our model is we take a 10% cut of those sales of each edition, but we also retain the last edition. So we're trying to kind of get a piece of the artist too in the process. And that's going to kind of be an interesting asset on our balance sheet, if you will.
Like keeping the catalog of everything that has been minted?
One of each, yeah.
Yeah, cool. So the other wrinkle is that if it's an ultra rare one of one single edition, we take a 15% cut, and then obviously don't retain an edition.
Okay, right, that's cool.
Yeah, so that'll keep the lights on. Everybody's got to take a little bit of a cut, but because there really aren't any other middlemen, taking a 90% take home is still pretty legit.
Yeah, absolutely. And later on, you can imagine having the catalog in the vault, and having a share mechanism around the whole Cipher catalog.
Yeah, I mean, it can kind of almost act as like a like history of the cipher, because if we have one of each of those, maybe someday there'll be a place you can go and check them out on the walls and click them and listen to them from, you know, the first one to the most recent, and hopefully there'll be lots.
Yeah, like mural, kind of, you know, you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we can like airdrop some onto the community if we wanted to do giveaways. I mean, there's notions if these have a track record of commanding, value, hell, maybe even using them as collateral or something, take out a loan. I mean, there's so many potential opportunities for it. But yeah, we want to just act as a newfangled label in that respect and get a piece of the action, with some of the profits that come in from sales.
Yeah. I see a question like, is everything done on chain, or what's the mechanism of the NFTs created once you mint to track?
Yeah, so we're lazy minting, so it's done off chain and then it's minted on the fly to the chain as it's purchased. So that's gonna just keep the experience frictionless for rappers. We've seen a lot of skepticism in the response about crypto in general, so having those transaction fees in the front end would kind of be a non-starter. So we decided to go the route of what OpenSea pioneered with the lazy minting. But yeah, everything's uploading to IPFS straight away off the crack, and so we're using all gold standard technology. But just foregoing the minting until there's the demand.
Okay, that's cool.
And that also lets, anybody come on without having to have, ETH to pay gas to mint. It seemed like the way to kind of democratize it and open it up so we can get people coming in that aren't, super familiar with crypto. In fact, I wrote up a little, one pager, how to set up your MetaMask. We'll have a page for kind of how to go through the ciphering, getting on, and you do this. This is your first button to generate, and it's pretty simple. But to have that for people that are totally new to the space, to be able to come on, not have to pay out anything, and the 10% that we get on the market, that should hopefully keep us going and be able to implement new and better features and rewards for people that are active. And who knows, we might have to work something out if people are bringing in produced beats or something. But for just people can come and generate beats and then rap over it. You don't have to do a lot except for bring your flow. So it seems like a pretty good kind of way to at least start out here and get the marketplace up and get some people rapping and have fun and discover talent.
Yeah, I had a question about the AI aspects of generating beats, because that's so fascinating as well. That's not so you don't find this everywhere. That's pretty new, and in the research field as well, a lot I see. So how did you got into producing those beats? I mean, when does the idea of and who in the team is the cutting edge researcher on that front? And are you guys following, like the OpenAI and Jukebox community that are, I guess you do. But I was curious,
Our man behind Flowbot 5000 is James Wenlock. He's total savage, just boy genius. This kid's made music using brainwaves and like hardware headgear before and stuff. So we got that guy making our beat maker. So yeah, he was covered in like Vice magazine and stuff for just pioneering, crazy projects like that. So we were really fortunate to find him, and we've got Zakuto, who's a AI, machine learning guy out of Sweden. So him, and then we are contracting with another gentleman in New York who is really savvy with the TensorFlow Magenta library, which is what we're likely going to leverage. But potentially OpenAI's GPT-2 is also viable. So we're still exploring those.
Okay, that's very fascinating talks, and I've been searching a little bit into the OpenAI community lately, and I'm really waiting for them to unleash more things, especially the one where you create a website with a few words or an image out of a few words. I guess the cryptoart community would have a lot of fun with that, and so yeah, that's very fascinating to see you have those pioneers amongst the team, and that's very promising as well, in my perception. So because you know what you talk about and you are at the cutting edge of the research right now, so this is one of the most fascinating aspects in Cipher as well, which is not really highlighted enough, I believe. I mean, compared to the amount of research which is required to create this, simple minting button where it generates different bits each times that are trained out of an AI and everything. That sounds simple, but when you understand how much time and effort it takes to get there, this is pretty much historic, and you have that on board with you on the platform, and so that's one of the most promising aspects as well, because onboarding beatmakers, I think, is can be a really important feature as well. But having more development toward the AI is as exciting to me as the having beatmakers and the whole platform in general, the minting, TikTok meets hip-hop vibe. So that's definitely a very complex combination that you all have, and truly a gem. So I really wish that you take it carefully to this destination, but I know you will. And yeah, that was great to talk with you about the project. Thank you so much. If you want, I don't know if Mai has more question. I think I have done my round, or if you want to add anything on top of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead, my bad.
No, if you had any questions, that's you by all means. I was just gonna mention that yeah, community, like you guys just hearing us out, hearing us shilling our wares is very much appreciated. So I was just gonna mention we'd love to drop a link and just see if you guys are down to follow our journey, as we're going on this trail, and pop into our Discord, pop into one of the rap sessions, we're gonna start having those maybe back in Cipher kind of on an informal basis with Louie C kind of heading up some of that community engagement. So we would love to have you cats out and have some fun, maybe get a crack at some ETH, and Easy's always known to make it rain some whale in there too. So it's fun time. And yeah, if you didn't have any other questions, I guess that kind of captures the essence.
When do you plan to public opening, like having everyone being able to access the platform?
Yeah, so right now the whitelisting is probably going to go on through May, but we're flipping the switch to mainnet, ideally Thursday, so that people can start buying tracks. So that's when the rubber meets the road. So the smart contract, we're turning around real quick, and if there aren't any major bugs, it's go time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So pretty quick.
Oh yeah, we gotta move fast, baby.
We gotta move fast, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just want to say thank you guys so much. It's been so fun coming on, and I love every show you guys do, but this may be my favorite.
Thank you.
Yeah, just seriously, it's such a blast being here with you guys, and it's been so fun, the ride so far, and I think we're going to be able to really make it work. I think it's gonna, hopefully we hit it out of the park, and are able to raise little funds and just keep growing and adding features, and taking feedback from people here and in the community, and just make it work for everybody. That's kind of the dream, is to open it up and level the playing field for getting into music NFTs, and art where you level up and you're able to bring in album art. So it's kind of, we're hoping there's a little for everybody, from the very first beginner to people that have a little more experience, to those people that are actually wanting to produce beats and do drops over on Cipher. So hopefully we'll run the gauntlet. Yeah, that's about the dream.
Oh yeah. Well, I definitely fuck with it.
Sharing that crypto love.
Yeah, that's crypto love. But yeah, that's been a blast to talk to you, and because we met across different places in the metaverse, but didn't have really a proper time to talk, and so that was so nice to meet you through this opportunity and this initiative that you guys are doing in combination with the show here in TokenSmart, and you're about as well to have the Cipher events in TokenSmart from next week, if I'm correct.
I believe we actually have it
day
this
after
Thursday.
tomorrow.
I mean, the new date, sorry, it's my fault, that you are already having the Cipher event in TokenSmart, but there's a new scheduled from next week.
Yeah, I think we're still dialing it in, right? Easy trying to go for 3 p.m. for the time being.
3 p.m. PST, 6 p.m. Eastern. That gives us 3 hours from the beginning of the whip. So if you come to the whip, which I highly recommend, you should have, an hour or 45 minutes or something to kind of catch up on messages, grab a sandwich or a snack, and then come back to Cipher.
Okay, that's perfect. That sounds perfect. Mai, if you want to add something to that, are you around?
What do you? I don't know what I would add. I mean,
no, I mean, if you have an additional question.
No, yeah. I mean, I love the overall concept, and I'm excited to like see what comes of it. And if you ever need anything that I can provide under the table, we'll fucking let's make it happen.
Thanks so much, man. You the love and support, man. It means everything. So we really appreciate you having us again, and we'll definitely be keeping you abreast.
We are always playing the devil's advocate and the debuggers,
yeah, for sure.
Professional debuggers. So yeah, with pleasure, anything. And I would love to, create a little mint. I don't know. Have some fun with the Cipher platform.
No doubt, man. Yeah, we're gonna get folks in here. It's gonna be epic. So thanks again, man.
Yeah, thank you for coming as well and taking the
Please
time.
do.
Yeah, I will. And
awesome. I'll be hitting you guys up too for sure.
All right, that's cool. And shall we play a little sample from what has been minted on the platform, and then jump right into our news? And if you want, to stay with us to talk and interact when we talk about those, you're absolutely welcome. And so thank you very much again, and that was a blast.
Yeah, and if you hit refresh or load more tracks, then you'll see there's that Faith Plus Works one. Is probably one of the better ones we've got on there. We actually have a couple. We're gonna probably a couple testers up there, so that one's kind of fun.
All right, perfect. We'll go with this one then. So are these the one that are created since the mainnet?
Yeah, these are the ones that are like officially created and gonna soon be purchasable, right?
Okay, perfect. Well, that's perfect to make the transition. Face plus Works. Who is the artist on this one?
This is Christopher Perceptions.
Okay. Well, shout out to Christopher Perceptions. Face plus Works minted on Cipher this week. And thank you for Easy and Kinchasa for being with us to talk about Cipher. Let's go.
C.M.P. I put my mind with my muscle and I went back to the grind. I put my faith over fear, cause I ain't really got time. I done been at the bottom and it's been way too long. Visions coming through clear, my faith is getting real strong. What would be said of you, God? If I die in this trial, I gotta live in a promise. I almost died in the wild, from a cross to a crown. I put my faith with my works, pressing past all the pain, pressing past all the hurt. Train to go from a youth, war ready and bomb, and going hard
on to the day of the rapture or they embalm. I'm pioneer for the kingdom. Yeah, we shaking the system, then we breaking their system and recreating their system. If they fake, I forgive them. I've been too real since the seed. God gives desires of heart, but first he tends to your needs. You gotta walk with the Father before you sprinting with speed. How can you run like the sun if you twisting the weed? How can you walk like a queen if you twerking online, popping pills to get by, pissy drunk like you fly? Really running from trauma, really running from shame. One day that horn is gonna blow, you best remember the name. That's why I fight for my marriage, and I'ma fight for my kids, and I'ma fight for my lineage. When I die they will live at CMP GFB.
Well. That was very cool, and I can't wait to see. Well. Yeah, no, I love the one that has been created, and that's so cool. Welcome back to the part 2 of the MightyMai episode 15 to cover the news, this week's news. And yeah, that was so great. Shout out to Space Painter, for helping us when we have audio troubleshooting, so he gets us the status of what's happening, and that's important. Shout out to him. And
Space Painter in the house.
Yeah, what's the current status? Are we doing great? Oh.
Sorry, man, I'm so high I couldn't go back to the button to unmute myself. I was, oh my god, I can't even move my hand. Sorry, what are you asking me? I'm cool. I'm great. Yeah, I had a great day with artwork and creativity and doing stuff, and I'm absolutely loving the show. I've been coming every week to listen, and today was really great with the Cipher gang. I'm really enjoying myself.
Yeah, you enjoyed the talk and getting diver.
Yeah, really cool. I sent it was a shame I didn't think of sending invitations a bit earlier, but I've sent invitations to a few people to come. My buddy Linkara, shout out to Linkara and Maxo Bruno, and invited a few people more, but I think they couldn't make it. And Crypto Spectre is listening as well. So yeah.
So cool. Then shout out to everyone. And yeah,
shout out to everyone, guys.
Yeah, the music gang is in the house, the TokenSmart house. Yeah. In the heart of the metaverse. I'm quoting results, but I agree. And yeah, so
100%.
Yeah, the heart where it's beating the strongest. Yeah, the strong. So
TokenSmart to the top. TokenSmart to the top, no doubt. I agree.
I'll meet you in the metaverse, baby.
Yeah, let's meet in the metaverse, baby. And yeah, so this week there has been so great news. Like the space is moving so fast, and we've seen new use cases, new energy from everyone trying to sort what's happening. And so first, big shout out to Async, who is about to launch the music platform this Thursday with 4 pieces, and that is going to be very historic, because I'm still searching for something similar in music history, but I couldn't find one yet. So a big shout out, and I'm very excited to see it happen. Yeah, make the programmable music a thing, and see the different use case from different artists that I believe the first round of artists really illustrates already a wide range of capabilities with this technology. We all did different things in different mindsets that the technology allows. So already with the first run, there will be mind-blowing open perception about music happening in the music industry across the world. So I wish Async the best with that, and I'm very looking forward all the upcoming release from their launch. So, and shout out to Connie Digital and the whole Async team for being on that and on top of the game. Absolutely. But moving on, yeah, we had like again big names. I don't know if you've seen like A$AP Rocky, Eminem, of course, Lil Jon, Chief Keef, DJ Premier again, Ice Cube, Bobby
DJ
Shmurda.
Premier milking it up.
Yeah, but already he did something new where he, you know, how do you say, stick posters in the streets. That's the words. So DJ Premier sticked posters of advertising posters of his music on the streets, and then you could use an app, augmented reality app, to have scan the posters on the wall in the streets and have augmented reality content. So shout out to Space Painter for this, because he's done that as well, and I'm seeing now like DJ Premier doing the same thing, and I guess a lot of artists are going to take this road as well. But yeah, I'm looking for the tweet. Can you see the screen good?
Yeah, I was gonna say I just pulled it up.
Yeah, here it is.
Can you hear me still?
Yeah, that's good. So yeah.
What is it?
So it's additional content when you scan the posters of DJ Premier in an augmented reality fashion to announce their upcoming drop. So interesting to see this way of doing things.
Well, what I find, I was gonna say, how did this Eminem one do? Because I have absolutely no idea. But I'm also curious because you mentioned something before the show about A$AP giving a car to whoever owns the NFT, which is fucking crazy, honestly.
Yeah, so the Marshall Mother Shady Con by Eminem drop on Nifty Gateways. It's a series of 3 pieces with a beat attached to it. So I've read somewhere that the beat is made by Eminem himself, which is interesting to know. But here is the beat. So that's just a bit, no trace of Eminem's voice, and the 3 pieces. I know Maxwell Bruno would kill this beat. Shout out. And the third one as well is the same beat, I believe. Yeah. That's it. So there were these 3 pieces who sold out. One is
Total.
There's the highest bid of 100K on one of them. And the other ones are sold out. But I think it's just 3 editions or more. No, 15 editions each. And then there's one of one.
Okay. Yeah, that's and how much? What do you think? What's the total estimate?
Let me open my calculator here. But
Well, I mean, like,
100, somewhere around $1 million.
Oh, 1 million?
Yeah.
Oh damn. Okay, that's way more than I thought. I was gonna say because like, you said it last week about how Blau clearly has the most sales on a lot of these NFTs,
Hmm.
but someone like Eminem, we would have both guessed a month ago or two. Yo, when Eminem gets into the space, like imagine what that NFT is
Hmm.
gonna go for. And it's like this is pretty underwhelming, I would say.
Yeah, $1,100,000 considering the bids on the one-on-one, and yeah, like you said, it can be considered like a score, like we would have expected those to be, especially in comparison, to the success of Blau having, and I have to correct the numbers that he's up to 17 or 18 million dollars around his drops in general. So definitely a lot of roads to do for the big stars. And I feel, about the news you were talking about, the ASAP Rocky dropping a car along his NFT drop, is a cool idea because you can throw up whatever you want. I mean, SpaceX can send you in space for buying their NFT. At some point, you can add everything you have. It's just the NFT in that sense is just the receipt of the transaction, and then you can provide any kind of service out of this particular transaction. So why not? And everyone can give whatever he wants, but at the same time you see the mechanism where you each and everyone try to who's got the biggest assets to put on the table to make that NFT valuable at certain point in time. And yeah, that's my concern with the ASAP Rocky dropping a car, for example. Like obviously to make it sell high as well, like to make it attractive. It makes me think of a charged particle as well, where you include some assets inside of an NFT, but that will be the case with physical asset where you can attach them to your NFT sales. But when it comes to music and these high scores, sending out a car doesn't make your NFT as valuable as someone who is pioneering the space, because of the historic value of that. I mean, in conclusion, that would be kind of my thought as well.
Yeah, I mean, what causes the value of the NFT is definitely still, I think, the question. Really, what is it that's causing an NFT to be worth 3 million versus 300,000 versus 3,000? And I think so much of that is like left up to like just opinion almost. But when you add utility in a car, or infinite amount of potential that you can add into these, like even content, who knows, let's say that piece of content ends up being like one of the greatest pieces of footage of all time or something, and like
Hmm.
that then causes the NFT value to rise because the NFT is the key to that piece of content.
Hmm.
There's a million things that could cause these NFTs to be valuable, but long term I do think that the more utility an NFT holds is really where the value is going to be, and the concept of collectability is going to be, it's going to eventually average out. I think there's going to be a correlation between how quote unquote popular maybe that person is, or how much value a collectible of
Hmm.
them might be. That'll eventually average out,
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't know.
and the
Might just be it.
scarcity as well, because yeah, to be collectible and have value, you necessarily need scarcity to comes into play. And I heard that talk from a group of lawyer. I will play a clip right after, but it's not talking about what I'm about to talk right now. Is the fact that from big records and major company, they consider that their best assets to tokenize are not the music itself, but rather unreleased pictures, unreleased visual art, or songs, or and especially when it comes to back catalog, from artists like the Michael Jackson family, or different right owners of great artists that are not there today. the best value to take out of the marketplace, the community marketplace. Their bet was on monetizing the unreleased things that are around, telling the history of how the music were made, but not necessarily the music itself. Or they were saying like the biggest value, there will be value in music, but there will be higher value in rare assets around around artists.
Right. So you mean like if they put like the making of the music?
Yeah, these kinds of the stuff, or pictures from back in the days, or unreleased materials that is historic to an artist's career as a collectible.
And that's where you're saying kind of like labels are thinking right now? Is that what you said?
It was lawyers thinking for how the major labels takes advantage of the NFTs, and not necessarily by providing NFT services to artists and stuff, but rather providing scarcity assets into the market.
No, that makes a lot of sense for sure. I mean, yeah, that's really like when are all the lawsuits going to come in? Because that's whenever like we'll see more mass adoption. Because I think once somebody finds a way to like sue the average person that's making an NFT and taking all of the profit, or maybe they just tax the fuck out of it. I really don't know. But like, yeah, I mean that's going to be a good moment for mainstream adoption, is when the lawyers do actually find a way to kind of exploit the industry in a bad way, which will then cause regulation, which will then probably make for centralized companies to come in with that new regulation already in place, because they were ahead of the game, because they saw the lawsuit coming, because they kind of caused the lawsuit, because they want the laws in place and regulations in place. They can centralize and monopolize the industry once and for all. No, I'm just kidding. Was that horrible?
A good dystopia. Yeah, but here's the short clip. That's a great video. I'm going to share the link. But about this particular energy this week, about the royalty issue, the royalty games, because that will be the core disruption happening in the music industry. Because okay, we can mint NFT, that's cool, but now let's get into the hard part of the work, and which is the royalties management system all across the world, and the importance of having everything clear from day one. It's like a business relationship. You want everything to be clear from day one, or as much as you can, but especially when you mint music or any kind of assets in the blockchain, you want to make sure that it is your property, that there is no copyrighted materials, unless you have a solution to declare and retribute this inclusion of a copyrighted material with the proper technology, then that can do the splits and everything happening. But as it's not the case today, and will be the core battle of the next 10 years, especially for music, because royalties in the art and visual world is kind of different. So yeah, there will be much more work necessitated in the music, but there's an importance to get your materials clear today, and that's what this clip says. Okay.
Essentially, everybody needs to be cleared. Did you hear that? Everybody needs to be cleared. Visual artists, songwriters, other music creators, record companies, music publishers. If an NFT features the name and likeness of somebody, like an old band from the 70s, or, Mickey Mouse from Disney, it all needs to be clear. Don't be putting all these images of the DC Marvel comics together, think you're going to be selling an NFT, and then these people aren't going to come at you, okay? This is a collectibles business. So collectible. So all these record companies that think they're going to make all this money and they're trying, it's like, no, you're not going to make all this money in the music. And we're going to talk about this in a minute. Okay. Where the record companies will make the money, in my opinion, is all their historical artwork and all these vintage photo shoots of photographs that were never published. 50 years. Okay. This is the stuff that will drive the sales of NFT. Now, what are the rights that are implicated in the NFT, right? How to classify all this under the US Copyright Act? Well, free market, my favorite word when it comes, 2 words when it comes to creators.
Okay, so you heard it. And yeah, that's
Yeah, Losh.
yeah.
She sold me. She sold me on the idea.
She what? Sorry.
She sold me on that. I'm with it.
Yeah.
I agree. I would ultimately say that on some level, that is probably going to be something that's highly valued. But I think that, I don't know if she's just neglecting to say it, but I would argue that there's obviously going to be a massive there's going to be another market for NFTs that just doesn't have to do with collectibles, but it'll have to do with access passes, fucking content, unreleased music, all that stuff. I mean, and maybe that's kind of what she was saying too, but there's going to be more than one way for labels to really make money. But I do think that those will be a part of the highest grossing NFTs, just simply because of the legacy of the NFT themselves. So yeah, I can feel that, especially if it's unreleased. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. But I love to see. What?
I said, and that's on Clivity. I was just talking.
But I love to see. Definitely a great interview from 5 lawyers and Deadmo5 playing in this interview as well, talking about the royalties issue. And I love, that there is 5 lawyers, and then you have Deadmo5 just throwing fuel on the fire. They're kind of all panicked, like, okay, how do we solve this mess? And he's like, yeah, but we do this and we do that, and just figure it out. And he's throwing some fuel definitely on the fire. Yeah, that's definitely a show to. And yeah, the point I trying to remember from a few minutes, I lost my point, but I have it back, is that from my perspective, I see the thousands and thousands of copyrighted content being minted soon in the blockchain. And what will the court case or any lawyers or anyone will do with this is as disruptive as peer-to-peer downloading from Napsters back in the days, because you will not have time. And they say it in the podcast, they say to open a court case for music, it takes you like 3 months at least to set it up and have something a little bit solid to go against and everything. And if suddenly you have hundreds of thousands of copyrighted content being minted on the blockchain and that you cannot remove, maybe you can remove the page that showcase it, but you won't be able to remove the asset out of the blockchain and everything. What do? It's a run that is impossible to win, and the only possibility for it to be prevented is not by court cases, but rather with technology that can, the standardized royalty system, or having a public ledger with standardized metadata, or when you do a remix, like it is possible on Audius, you just mention what's the sample, what's everything, and then provide so every owner, right owners have their part, and kind of an open source music economy where everyone can pick any samples he wants, remix it, crush it, and everything, and just declares, okay, I've used that, I use that as well, and then end up with macro economics of royalties happening automated and totally digitized. That would be a great future to see. But that's my point. What do you do if suddenly the whole planet decide to mint copyrighted content?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's what I mean. Like, that's when the lawyers will step in. because somebody's gonna care at that point. Like all it takes is one person of power to give a shit that people are using their copyrighted material. I think right now there's just people that are like, oh, they're using my material, but like they're just not important to the game and to lawyers. Like lawyers are the majority of big time lawyers are still only fighting for the legacy system. Like they don't care about NFTs yet. There's not enough money in their own job already to get involved. You know, there's no incentive unless they're trying to change the game, which there's probably like 1% of lawyers that are trying to do that. But yeah, I mean, the second that starts happening is the second that we'll see quicker regulation, though, in my opinion.
Yeah, but it starts to be a concern as well to have, you know, this royalty system more developed and included when you want to scale up in music organization, because when you are an artist alone, you can mint something that you 100% own and everything, but when you go higher in scaling and having you know, different artists, different productions going on that you want to still move into the blockchain, but you can't because there's 3, 4, 10 people to have to clear things out with before getting in. And I think because of the boom, everyone feels the urge to have this royalty system sorted, because it won't stay long. That having, you know, one artist owning 100% of the work, only being able to manage things on the blockchain, because once you're more than one, you have to do things manually, and you know, the good face won't last in the NFT craze. I mean, there's a lot of good face from the cryptoart community, because that's the only way I mean, platforms like Non-Origin and Mintable and Cargo that already created royalty split address have to be mentioned as pioneers in the space. And big shout out to NFT42 as well for being at the forefront of having the cross platforms royalty standards being a thing. But it's still pretty picky to choose where to go when you want to deal with more royalties aspects of minting a piece on the blockchain. But yeah, the NFT booms create this urge, because if you have Eminem and all these celebrities getting into the space saying this message like, yeah, this is disrupting the music industry forever, then everyone wants to get on board, but the royalty system isn't ready yet. So it's pretty, you know, it's still reserved to people that can have or be sure with good faith that they will, on one hand, own everything on their work, or manage their business manually until we get to the point where we have dashboards and automatic splits happening. But yeah, do you feel what I'm trying to talk about the confrontation in the time frame of having the NFT boom, and suddenly all the music people is interested in NFTs but still cannot, you know, they are facing the wall of royalties features not being enough developed yet. So on one side they see Eminem, and on the other side they want to get in, and it's still too early to be really disruptive as we hear it, as we see it in not so fast, not so long ago, I believe, but not yet today.
Dude, absolutely. I totally feel it. I mean, it's a weird pocket of space we're in right now where we have the ideas but not the infrastructure, not the laws, not the platforms even. You know, we have the communities though. There's definitely, the communities are definitely here. The ideas are in place. People are communicating. People are grouping together. We're definitely on the cusp of a lot of these things definitely happening in the next 6 months for sure, from platforms to being developed, laws probably changing, maybe big things happening, kind of like the XRP thing, probably, because I think after this XRP thing, there's going to be it might change something as a whole in the crypto world as a whole. It might not just have to do with XRP. That's And so we might say the same thing with NFTs and artists or whatever. But I agree. Yeah, for sure. I think that it's a weird pocket right now. I don't know if we should take advantage of it or if we should sit back and just wait and just wait until it makes more sense to actually do something more involved with these types of things.
Yeah, it makes me think of a situation back in the days that a friend showed me, in the era of the peer-to-peer softwares, where it was a label owner, independent label owner in the EDM space, and in 2017, 2007, 2008, something like that. So yeah, pretty much 15 years ago, and he invited us in his label basement and showed us how on his computer he was pretty much downloading all the hit tracks of the moment, like the top 100 charts, and renamed pretty much everyone with his label's artist and everything. So no, that's the inverse. So actually he put the music of his label artist and he renamed it like, okay, this is Drake, okay, this is whoever was number one on the top chart. And so as he was taking advantage of the early days of peer-to-peer system, and just because he knew that people would be looking for Britney Spears and everything, and he renamed their track Britney Spears, but he was his label's music under it. And I think we will have thousands of ways of people taking advantage of being early here in music in such kind of way. This way was not so legal, it was not very clear, but it was still taking advantage in a good way of such a period of time. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that gives me the idea that, like, what if an artist just started making music, like, and they just named the song, like, Drake-like song on Audius.
Yeah.
Instead of Drake-type beat, Drake-type song.
Yeah, you can
Weekend
try
type song.
You can try this out. But
it's kind of a hard idea, honestly.
Always have the hardest ideas around. So yeah, this week there's been Weezer. I don't know if you know Weezer, the rock band, getting into wax. As well, we had like Lil Jon, quick NFT from Lil Jon.
I got an NFT, bitch. I got an NFT. I got an NFT, bitch. I got an NFT. I got an NFT, bitch. I got an NFT. Check out my NFTs. 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 Check out my NFTs.
Wow, that was horrible. I'm sorry, that one was bad, bro.
I haven't watched it before the show.
That was so bad, dude. I don't know why that one was so off-putting to me, but
I loved it.
Man.
Absolutely loved it. That's we were meant to see things like this.
I was gonna say I like that we're polar opposites, but man, that one's I don't know, Little John. What were you thinking, bro?
Can I play it one more time just for the
play it one more time? Play it one more time.
Yeah, for pleasure.
I got an NFT, bitch. I got an NFT. I got an NFT, bitch. I got it.
I feel the audience want to hear it another time. Pull this up again. Pull this up. Woo! Again.
No, this is a smasher.
I got an NFT, bitch. I got an NFT. I got an NFT, bitch. I got an NFT. I got an NFT, bitch. I got an NFT. I got an NFT, bitch. I got an NFT. Check out my NFTs. Check out my NFTs. Check out my NFTs. Check out my NFTs. Check out my NFTs.
But he's embedding the culture, like what we said in 2027. The catchphrase from everyone will be like, "Hey, what does these guys own? And everyone will be like, check out my NFTs." And so basically, he's already ahead of this in some way, in a catchy way. But
maybe.
That's cool. That's cool. I like it.
No, I mean, is it just a collectible, one of one? What is that?
OpenSea, and it seems to be a collections. There's 37 items, one owner. What is it? So, okay, little signature pack. There's one of ones. I don't know, he seems to be doing a lot of things here.
Dude, I
What?
swear.
What? What? What?
So
That one, at least he's leaning all the way into his. At least he's leaning all the way into it on that one.
yeah, he's been
What?
releasing different series. Apparently, I haven't digged into everything, but there's beats. And what it says.
Oh, I like that. I like that beat.
Yeah, Lil Jon dug into his production vault and handpicked 3 unreleased beats dating back to 2005. Ownership of these never heard before beats will, you know how it sounds like the major, story of tokenizing your old stuff and
Yep.
rare stuff. So these never heard before beats will automatically take any fan to a super fan status after the privilege of owning. After all, how many people can say they own a Lil Jon track? Each beat is one of one, so he's been releasing several beats, I guess, and these little memes that he did. Yeah.
Dude, it's so interesting because, like, like the more and more I see like these drops, it's like, man, like when will it happen? When will people get completely just sick of this? Like, sick of random celebrities coming in and just making like a very average drop. Which, I mean, that's what I'm considering this, and it's like, it's great. Like, I mean, take advantage of the situations. I'm not hating on that, but I'm just curious when that will happen. When will we see the market get tired of plain old collectible NFTs? When is the innovation gonna come? That's the question. I think the metaverse is gonna have a huge thing to do with it. I've said this since the beginning. I think once there's a main metaverse where everybody is, which I think Decentraland is doing pretty good at being like the brand centric, like the number one like brand centric place. I think CryptoVoxels has a chance in like a different way. And then there's other ones that are really cool, but I just think that they're super niche. But yeah, I mean, like, dude, I mean, just think about the GTA shit that popped off the past year, where people are basically like emulating life in GTA.
Yeah.
Like, it's huge on Twitch. That's huge all over the place. Like, people are just, and like, there's actual like gangs and shit like in the game. Like, that like literal gangs will be playing this game as gangs in the game. It's like that's crazy to me. It's like hilarious. It's like,
yeah,
like, I mean, but so that's gonna happen, and I'm just curious when there's like a metaverse and like having a Lil Jon NFT kind of matters a little more. Maybe then like people won't be so, like, I won't be so underwhelmed by this. But like, man, I don't know. You got to give me like a weapon in the game or something, Lil Jon. You know what I mean?
But
give me like an exclusive audio. Give me like an exclusive audio that I can shout at people or something, like, because let me tell you, like, I wasn't impressed by that. but we'll see.
What?
I know. I'm going in on Lil Jon. I'm sorry, Lil Jon. Like, you were my 6th grade. You were definitely what I used to grind on.
What?
Bitches in middle school too.
Yeah. But we've seen Chief Keef as well, collaborating with Tila Vision and Colorful Moolah for NFT without music, again on Super Rare. But Chief Keef is a big streaming player out there, and I love his music. But nothing to be really competing with what the pioneers are doing in the space. Blau, Panther Modern, Connie Digital, Vandal, Here there's a bid of 30,000 millions. This is not a race again. And
30,000 millions?
no, sorry, hey. Yeah, $30,000, not millions.
I was gonna say that's the biggest bit I ever heard.
I recall the audience that I've been diving so much that I don't recall my name. But yeah, so $30,000 here, and yeah, the piece is very cool, but it doesn't seem to be really competing with the high scores. Whether it, sorry, I don't know how to say it, but it's from the big stars of the traditional world, and there are most of them, and sometimes even the biggest, or the one that we consider the biggest of them out there. I mean, according to the billboards and according to all these metrics, doesn't seem to really compete with this metaverse energy that we're talking about. This metaverse culture that really creates networks effects and yeah, disruptions amongst the space in music, experimenting with taking risks and everything. I don't see more risks being taken from these big stars, except the one of testing their current level of influence through their first NFT. We talked about it already, everything. But yeah, there's less risks being taken by these top list artists than from most of the crypto music gang actors on an everyday basis that has way lower means or financial power to get into the space. But yeah, maybe that's as well part of the value of these pioneers NFTs that are, you know, that the audience feel is more valuable because of the hard work and, you know, the situation in which it has been created and everything, like in every art piece in the world pretty much. But it doesn't seems to it seems to have taken a distorted way recently in the music industry, and where the metrics are pretty much fucked up. So yeah, I don't know.
No, I feel you on the value potentially, but or like the value kind of being in the sense that they're testing the market for us, and maybe in 10 years we'll look back and be like, well, you know, like that was overvalued, but it's not, because it was determining and it's laughable, and the meme of it going for that much money is like why it's valuable. Like maybe, like, who knows, that could be like part of its mental value. And also, like, you know, if something goes for $10, dude, we got to remember that, like, this is so fucking insane. It's kind of random and maybe a bit of a tangential thought, but I feel like anything selling for any amount of money is incredible.
Yeah.
And you know, anybody who's making an NFT, if it's going for $10 versus for 10,000, I think either way, man, it's something that we should cherish. And if we're in a bubble and everything's inflated right now, well, then we should really be cherishing it. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's gonna go the other way, or maybe it's just gonna average out very subtly. And we're just here this early, and we're just that exciting, or it's just that exciting for us. But I don't know. Yeah. So you know, it's all good at the end of the day. Whether something goes for 100,000, 1 million, 10 million, $100, that doesn't really determine its value as an NFT. I know that we sometimes talk about price or what it went for, like that is the value of it, but it's just curious to see how the market's actually reacting to this person's drop versus that person's drop, and what's going on with those NFTs, and what's, you know, adding up to their value. So it's all interesting, but yeah, no matter what it's selling for, it's all we should just be like amazed at anything selling. So
yeah, no, I do absolutely agree. You're right on everything you said. That's truly, I mean, every art piece is priceless by nature, and it's just kind of incompatible or a sort of capitalist thing to have been put this value on music and make people have livings out of their art, and that's a good thing. But definitely had a lot of distortions on the way. So yeah, compared to the last step, the last stage we were in, I mean the streaming era, I think that everyone was kind of frustrated that something was broken and that it couldn't work better. But now we do see this new thing that is totally life changing for everyone getting involved, at least on the perception side of things, and on the secondary aspects on the financial side of things. But yeah, every sales is a blessing compared to anything that has ever existed before.
Right.
Truly. So
I was gonna say the old world, it like by nature just turns you against each other. It makes you you're getting raped no matter what you're doing. You're literally working for free no matter what. Most of the time, it's negative. It's the opposite. So the Web3 world has enabled for just a literally more freedom. So any amount of sale, any amount of a benefit, or any amount of way to utilize the new technology, I'm applauding. But at the same time, because we're here on the show, we're definitely gonna talk that shit at times. You know what I mean? Little John got to step it up, dude. But hey, kudos to him for selling some.
But yeah, no, we have to retro-analyze all this. This is very interesting on a pure business perspective to analyze this. And so yeah, we talked about ASAP dropping his car from his NFTs. So here's the little clip.
Hog Shopping Network. Join ASAP Rocky as he releases his debut NFT collection on April 21st. Get your chance to buy some of his select pieces and a snippet of his unreleased song Sandman. Every purchase gets raffled off to win one of the vehicles from the Intergeneration Tour or a studio visit to listen to the new album. Exclusively at Nifty Gateway.
Yeah. So a studio
Cool.
visit and a car. So I'm looking for this owner of this new car. I wish he, flex it on Instagram after the sale.
I like this approach. I like this approach from Rocky.
Yeah.
This is one of the most creative or giving or value exchanging NFTs I've seen so far from me.
Yeah.
Yeah, from a celeb. So kudos to Rocky. And I mean, I would expect nothing less from somebody from that crew. So I mean, I'm glad that that's the case.
From that.
I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, you want me to go ahead? You go ahead.
No, I was saying in the same talk with the lawyers and Deadmo5, they were talking especially about, because Deadmo5 has a Lamborghini with an Iron Cat design on it. And so he was like, what happens if I want to create an NFT or maybe gift someone my Lamborghini with this Iron Cat on it? You want to have the authorization from the guy from Lamborghini, from the guy who did the Iron Cat design, from everyone being on the board of this sale, for example. But
right.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good question, man, because I've heard of some things recently where it's somebody wants to be like, hey, they want to market their thing as something else's thing. So for example, let's say I marketed this as, say I'm Hans Zimmer, and I'm like the music to Interstellar NFT. You know what I'm saying? Instead of claiming it to be your music, you're claiming it to be the music from Interstellar. And that's an interessante bonflante situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I can say Lamborghini again for Maxwell Bruno asking in the chat. Oh we. Maybe you can help me out on this news, because I didn't quite get everything, but it was kind of astonishing to see. I've seen this news concerning.
This is crazy, dude. This is dangerous right here. This right here.
Yeah.
This is interesting, because I'll tell you right now, I think Bobby Shmurda is most likely with the shits in a good way. So I think that this is definitely I'm interested in this. I'm bullish on this news right here.
Yeah, because I'm not so familiar with Bobby Shmurda's story, but as a producer, I did produce French rap, who's included in Bobby Shmurda in their own lyrics. So to some extent, I am conscious of the case and the prison and everything. But I don't know all the extents of this. But I came across this news and I was like, that sounds interesting. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about it. I'm just kind of like looking at it, and I have no idea what exactly
because
it is, but the headline's enticing.
Yeah, absolutely. But I haven't heard of the Mine blockchain, and in the article, they doesn't necessarily elaborate on what's this blockchain model for fairness they are about to build. They are, though, talking about Bobby Shmurda selling his tickets for his first ever show post prison through Shprocoin. I believe I pronounced that correctly.
He's a legend.
So what's Shprocoin? And I didn't know of that, but
that's a legendary move right there. I like, this is what I'm saying. Like, dude, I fuck with Shmurda heavy. He's probably gonna get killed. I'm not even gonna lie about it. He's probably literally gonna get killed. Like, that's the one thing I would say is, like, dude, if you're super fucking influential, you could really change a whole generation of artists right now. If you were Drake, if Drake actually was a good guy, or if any of these mainstream artists had any real freedom and they understood NFTs, they would be preaching them in a way of like, look, this is what every independent artist needs to do. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's what every single independent artist coming up needs to do. You need to go blockchain 100%. And that's on Clivity, and that's on Slivity.
And yeah, I mean, I've heard this talk from Lee Parson, who is the CEO of Ditto Music, and I wanted to highlight a few podcasts I've heard this week, which were very high level and interesting, and one of them being with Lee Parsons as a guest. And he talked about, we covered it in the previous weeks, the 125 fractional ownership of a song with royalties retribution to the owners and everything. So there's this short clips where he talks about it.
So recently Oculus had an experiment. We took two artists and we split their song into 125 different pieces. We charged like $100 for each piece, and it was an actual percentage of that artist's copyright. So what that means is all those people that bought it, they own an NFT, but also they own an actual part of the artist's copyright. So every time that artist gets paid from Spotify now, that person gets paid money as well. We had we did this experiment in about 2 days, and we didn't know what was going to happen. I had my mum standing by the computer to buy one because I didn't think anyone would buy them. And they sold out in like 2 minutes, and we had about 10,000 people trying to buy these NFTs. So it just shows you what the perception of value is for actually, having something tangible. And then for the musicians, if you imagine a new artist coming to the platform now and they've got 5,000.
Sorry?
I was going to say, this is it right here. This is what needs to be going down.
Yeah. And I'm highlighting what he's saying because he's definitely inspiring in the sense of he's got involved with Ditto in the very early days of streaming music. That's what he explains here. And so he's here from the very beginning of the streaming era. And so he had to play with the rules and everything. And today he's all about DeFi and decentralization and at the forefront of this battle, coming from a success company that had to be tied with the traditional world. So, he's not defending his old point of view, sort of. What I'm trying to say is that coming from the traditional world, he's all about fully disrupt and saying all the artists should own the masters, all the lending money for artists has to be combined and decentralized through DeFi and interest of people investing in the artists and everything. So this was a pretty optimistic thing to see for me, that someone, he's so much into the decentralization with $1 billion company because they produced up to $1 billion in royalties with Ditto Music in general. So that's the first platform to have such score. And yeah, seeing him being all about decentralization and artists owning the NFTs, it seems like he's, and I don't know, I haven't, digged more or have more available, but I'm just speculating or wondering what, how is he thinking, but maybe that's a question to ask him later on the MightyMai show. How is it a vow of sorry, I'm trying to think at the same time. That's hard. Like Easy. Sorry, saying like it's the distribution model is kind of failed. I don't know, and that he is all about transmuting his company into these new tools and everything, but starting from a distributor's point of view, like to what extent he is going to disrupt his own distribution company, being 100% into the blockchain mindset. So yeah, but we can have the answer right now. But yeah, this is my question.
Oh wait, what? Are you about to play that?
Yeah, again.
Some people wanting to buy a piece of their catalog. Just think how more interested they are in that music doing well. If you own a piece of someone's actual catalog and you're getting paid every time it streams on Spotify, then you're going to be a lot more, you're definitely going to want it to stream more than you would have done. So that's where we are on the NFT section.
Yeah. Huge. I totally agree. I know I'm like cutting this dude off, but like that is the fucking, that's the formula. That's 100% the formula.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't see anything else being more powerful than that. I don't. I think that once a community of people can own 10% of an artist's catalog, that's what's going to take over communities becoming the labels, essentially. Because, dude, you don't ever need a label anyways. Social media became the label for some artists. And then, it's the way to monetize that community now is infinite. And yeah. If you can give back to your community the way that they're actually impacting you and they're actually benefiting you, and you find ways for them to somehow benefit themselves, yeah, dude, it's game over. It's literally game fucking over. You're gonna create a whole market, a whole culture
and very
of supporting.
fast.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna get dangerous too. I see this working out so well that it's gonna cause massive like game or gang wars almost in terms of musicians, like. Imagine if one crew started beefing with another crew. I know we talked about this briefly, but that's the type of shit that could end up happening, I think. And that's on Quibbity and that's on Slivity.
But yeah, Easy has this question about Blow talked about this issue as well in the music, that if there's payments from streams incoming from an NFT, would it be a security? And if we have any thoughts on the securities aspects. Personally, I'm not very advanced on that, but I'm seeing the security versus utility issue since I'm into XRP, and I don't know about music.
Yeah,
how it will come out. I guess there will be tough questions about this because you will own, if you own a part of a catalog of an artist and everything, this is supposedly a security as it is for a company when you buy shares of it, but it's totally uncharted territory here, and I mean, dude,
it goes back to the lawyer situation. Like lawyers are going to fucking be the people that cause this to work out in a massive way. I mean, like some artist is going to do this. They're going to give out they're going to give out royalties to 200 people that buy their NFT. They're going to make a fuckload of money. And then the government is going to come for that artist, or the regulators are going to come for that artist. That's makes so much sense to me.
And you know what? Deadmo5 had a good point of view on that, saying that from the artist's point of view, necessarily a musician, when it comes to the space, had to learn to be a developer a little bit, have to learn to be a visual artist as well, then their own marketer. And now they, with the NFT space, they will have to become lawyers as well, and so that's kind of overwhelming
man.
things to
Fuck it.
yeah. Where but well,
I would happily learn about law, dude. They don't want you to know, but like I would happily be a lawyer be my own lawyer. The problem with being your own lawyer is no one takes you seriously.
yeah, it's
No other lawyer is gonna take you seriously. No label's gonna take you seriously. No major corporation is gonna take you seriously. Trying to lawyer yourself, unless you like just come straight fact it up.
yeah,
You
but
just
that
are really
requires
on your shit.
lifetime experience. That's possible, but that requires definitely a lifetime experience of understanding every extent of the business you're
You
fighting
can still
for.
do it without the certifications. I would say though.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But
But I do agree though. It's just another aspect now that's going to cause for a lot more energy spent for independent artists. But yeah, no, it's good stuff though. Bon food for love.
yeah, but easy. We definitely need hard-hitting lawyers on this stuff, and but that's what I felt this week was happening. Actually, that the recent booms shook the layer web, and then they all have a sort of emergency call altogether. Okay, let's start to figure this out. And but I do feel truly passionate people being here on that as well. But yeah, this will probably requires an international army of lawyers getting into these issues, because not much people know, but there's an interesting point of view that I speculated with this week, is that when you know that half of the music out there has proper metadata registered, like you said, if you enter the wrong letter, then you don't get the money. But half of what's out there is in that situation. So, and on top of that, you have 270,000 companies that are dealing with right management across the world. So, and there's no unification of those hundreds of thousands of companies dealing with royalties. So you can just imagine the mess of all that combined together without any foundations. And at the same time, try to think in the perspective of someone that has 18 right now and who is totally innocent to how the traditional game works, and sees the NFT and the facility, the easiness of the totally fluid or soon very fluid ecosystem that is about to roll out. If you want to be serious, if you don't know anything about the traditional music industry and you see this happening, you're like, okay, this is easy. The royalties, sorting the royalties is easy. You just have to program this like like that, and then you create the pipes, the pipelines and everything, and then suddenly it works. But if you want to do your job properly and learn about history of royalties and everything, with the perception, the fresh perception of what's your thing today, and which is the NFT and everything. Once you get from that perspective, that young perspective, into the traditional game, I believe you're just like, what the actual fuck has been happening until this day? what's this total mess that can be very sort of easily by piping the right programs and everything to make a global ecosystem. So there's a big task here, but from someone who is just has fresh eyes, seeing the NFT and how easy it can be, learning about history can be just like, oh, what the fuck? what's the history of this? Because I can see right now with my young eyes that it seems so easy to pipe, to do the pipelines of all that.
For surely.
And yeah, I hope we will see some 80 years old genius crack code developers being like, okay, this is easy, let's do that, and just crush the music industry with Web3 tools. I don't know, we will see, but that's interesting talks.
No, yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I'm like,
What are you thinking of?
bro, I honestly, I'm a bit zoned out at this point. I mean, like, yeah, I'm just, I've been smoking the whole podcast too, and full disclosure. And now I'm a bit zooted, as they say. But I've been like taking. Oh no, I'm not even. We won't even get into it. But
No, that's cool. We are reaching the end of the show, and we're 3 space painter actually, but we hit pretty much every topics we wanted to talk about. Yeah, a few highlights to the eco-friendly NFT platforms. We mentioned them earlier, like Palm.io from Consensus, the developers of MetaMask, as well Hink and Nunk. Shout out to Rare Skrilla, who is experimenting with it recently. And then we have also Zero Mint, which I don't know anything of yet, but seems to be on that forefront. And Vive with the Flow blockchain, who is as well crushing it. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this week. Yeah, no, just wanted to highlight these few podcasts as well from the whale community, and the discussion with Mike Dean and Connie Digital and everything. There were great talks about music there as well. This
I wanted to
podcast from OG NFT, who opened the channel as well with a great insights. OG NFT on YouTube, and there's
did someone say something?
No, yeah, it was just a video.
Oh, it's the video on Flidio. Gets me every time.
And there you can find a good talk about you, Joe, the music streaming and collectible platforms from back in the days, telling their stories. And yeah, the last one is a podcast with Tune FM, telling their stories as well. And yeah, I feel we had great high-level insight, content material being produced this week. So yeah, as well, I will link everything in the replay. So this discussion with Lee Parsons and with Deadmo5 and the lawyers from all genres and in the music industry. So yeah, that was it. Shout out as well to this Beyond the Moon, who did a great thread about Emanate and all they did since start. I will link that as well. And that's it. We're pretty much done.
Dude, hell yeah, man. Once again, the blockchain music world speeds light years into the future every week.
Yeah.
And we, Mighty and I, try our best to slow down that world and bring it to you from a very biased opinion. And yeah, we try to predict the future, and it's a good time. But I do appreciate the show this week. Definitely am blasted. I ordered a steak sub. Pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
Extra steak. I got extra steak. Listen, I know that we could probably got some vegans in here, and listen, I feel you. I understand. You're like, what are you doing? You gotta chill out. But hey, you guys feel me?
Yeah, you're on the good way. Good transition. But yeah, I mean, look at this map. I opened this music and blockchain initiative map 1 year ago, and I had a few initiative out there, and now there's this messy, complex map with more than 100 articles related and everything. That's I'm very happy to have these resources now. I have good feedback out of it as well. So make sure to check it out if you want some reference in what's happening in the music space. That's pretty much all there. Not all, but the most we can, and we do our best, and that's cool. Having a lot of help as well from the community itself to build this resource, and happy to share it with everyone because it speeds time and we need this level playing field to play, to have fun. So yeah, happy to. I want to shout out Easy and Kinchasa again for coming this week with us to talk about Cipher. We will keep an eye on that for sure. And thanks as well for everyone in the chat. And shout out to Space Painter for the comments on the status. If you can maybe help us close the show down with a closed status, like anytime we ended. But yeah, big shout out to the chat, Maxwell Bruno as well. Good to see you here. And the music gang.
Oh, yeah.
We're here
What up?
killing it. And don't miss the drop of Async this Thursday, the historic drop of programmable music happening. This is going to be something very cool. And hopefully we will talk about it later. So big shout out TokenSmart and everyone. We made it a little bit late tonight, but this was so intense and interesting to bring all this up. So yeah, looking forward to meet you all next week with more dopeness. And yeah, that was a blast. Thank you everyone for participating and everything. I'm pretty much out.
Oh yeah, sorry, I deflated at the last 20 minutes here, but I appreciate everybody for sticking with us. But hey, we're gonna have a great show next week, and we had a great show this week. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying we didn't.
Oh, we did, absolutely.
I am about to grub Superface, and probably just pass a lot of you guys, but listen, it was a great time, and let's just keep pushing the space forward best we can.
Absolutely. And let's say goodbye on some Cipher beats. And yeah, to close this down. And wish everyone a good week. Stay safe, stay healthy, in balance, everyone. Shout out to the Cipher fam and TokenSmart fam. And
that's on good.
Crypto music and everyone. Thank you.
Over and out.
Hell yeah. Space Painter.
Goodbye.
Hey, NFT rap, cooking up a flow while I'm in the trap, when I'm in the trap, NFT rap, cooking up a flow while I'm in the trap, NFT rap, cooking up a flow while I'm in the trap. Look at me rap, NFT rap, with a body bag and a toe tag, NFT rap, cooking up a flow while I'm in the trap. Look at me rap, NFT rap. Wanna learn to whip it, come to me cause I'm the tutor. Spit raps, mint tracks, sell for digital cash, that's a fucking fact. And I ain't stopping right now cause I'm in first place and they motherfuckers in last. I ain't stopping, hell nah, boy I'm fucking popping. Yeah, I'm just popping, I feel like Harlow cause I know what they talking. In my Glocky, feel like it popping, huh?
Server metaverse, get your weight up, and I'm dreaming of a day we've only drop. Feel it in your heart, feel it from the start. Hold up, run that back.
Yeah. Nah. Come on, would you please help me understand all of these terminologies? I'm not so chronology. It's breakneck speed. Just trying to keep up. Trying to say what's up to those OGs who coming through in 2s and 3s.
You got 10K, it left me high and dry. If I had that 10K, we would have a new entire life. Yeah, how you gonna watch my story but not even reply when all I'm asking is when a guy can see his kids? I mean, it's been 3 weeks. That's some fake ass shit. Playing games and shit. You was a fake ass bitch, but this is real. This is real shit. I ain't a game boy. I'ma come with my gang and make some gang noise. We ain't from the same gang, but we use the same toys.
C.M.P. I put my mind with my muscle and I went back to the grind. I put my faith over fear, cause I ain't really got time. I done been at the bottom and it's been way too long. Visions coming through clear, my faith is getting real strong. What would be said of you, God? If I die in this trial, I gotta live in the promise. I almost died in the wild, from a cross to a crown. I put my faith with my works, pressing past all the pain, pressing past all the hurt. Train to go from a youth, war ready and bomb, and going hard till the day of the rapture or they embalm. I'm pioneer for the kingdom. Yeah, we shaking the system, then we breaking their system and recreating their system. If they fake, I forgive them. I've been too real since the seed. God gives desires of heart, but first he tend to your need. You gotta walk with the Father before you sprinting with speed. How can you run like the sun if you twisting the weed? How can you walk like a queen if you twerking online? Popping pills to get by, pissy drunk like you fly. Really running from trauma, really running from shame. One day that horn is gonna blow, you best remember the name. That's why I fight for my marriage, and I'ma fight for my kids, and I'ma fight for my lineage. When I die they will live at CMP GFB.
It's Louie, baby. The champ is here. Let's go. I'm known for rapping hard, not your average bars. Lighting up the metaverse and wrecking graphics cards. Cipher in the building, all you get is battle scars. And we ain't leaving in this bitch unless we get that avatar. I'm sick, bro, so tiptoe or get fit like Pitbull. That lip flow, your shit blows. I pop off like crypto, like goddamn. He not playing, he got game. Like Ray Allen on this motherfucking blockchain. A hot flame, a top name. Without me in the cipher, it's the Wild West without John Wayne. All aboard the Genesis, everybody sprung. Now it's looking like a party up in 721. Teleporting engineers, better bring the beers. We should make it a tradition, do it every single year. Put Louie on the microphone, everybody kinda stoned. Fire up the flow, bot, whole spot might explode. Y'all already know though, I bomb it like a photo. I'm coming down that stream like a motherfucking rowboat. Y'all don't know me now, you should learn my name. I got that whole spot lit, now watch it burn the flames. It's Louie, baby. Woo. Cipher in the building, biatch. Yeah, I'm out.
Space Painter has left the building.